कृष्ण प्रस्थाय भूतले कृष्ण प्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear Prabhujis and Matajis, please accept my humble obeisances. If I speak anything inappropriate in today's class, please forgive me. So today I will be talking about um, Sampradayas, the four Sampradayas. So first let's discuss what are Sampradayas. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is the Guru Maharaj of Srila Prabhupada, he gave a very good example actually. What is that? He says that this material world, what is this material world? It's like a deep dark well. This material world is already a dukkhalayam, and after that also it's a dark deep well. There's actually in a sloka, there's a sloka in Bhagavad Gita talking about that how the material world is very miserable and everything. So that sloka is from the 8th chapter, 15th verse. मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्म दुःखालयम् अशाश्वतम् नाप्नुवन्ति महात्माना संसिद्धिं परमां गता. So, after attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. So, Krishna in this sloka, he's talking about a temporary world. What is the temporary world? It's the material world. Ashasvatam means temporary. And then Dukkalayam means a place of miseries, full of miseries. So we have so many alayams, right? Like Pustakalayam. So many are there. And like that, even Dukkalayam. This entire world is Dukkalayam, full of miseries. So so this material world, as Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, is a dark, deep well. And there are four ropes to get out of this well. Four ropes to climb out of this well. So what are those four ropes? They are the four Vaishnava Sampradayas. So if we grab any one of those ropes, there are four, we can grab any one of them. But you should grab it with faith, strength, and you should have faith on the rope, on the Sampradaya. And if you and then ultimately you will climb out of this well. You'll climb out of this material world. Another example which you can quote here is the four sampradayas. They're like extension cords. Extension cords means like they have to connect to a source. What is that source? That source is Krishna. He's the ultimate source. And from that, all the other lines come. All the other power sources come. What is that? The sampradayas come. So now let's discuss what does sampradaya mean to us? What does this mean to us? Why do we need sampradaya? Why do we need the disciplic section? And one more thing, how do we know what we know is true and how do we know if we are in the correct sampradaya? So there are many different pramanas and so many different evidences. But which is the highest? There is only one highest. What is that? Shabda Praman. That is the Vedic sound vibration. So that is the transcendental knowledge at the highest level. That's the highest of the transcendental knowledge. So we should. It's not based on our own opinion. We should not take things based on our own opinion. There is evidence behind Shabda Praman. There is evidence behind some things, and that's why we believe it. Without evidence, we cannot believe anything these days, right? So we should not take it on our own opinion or views or anything like that. So Srila Prabhupada used to give an example here. So if we take 0 multiplied by 0, so that's 0 only. And then 0 power 0, it's always 0. Both of them are always 0. So that's not an assumption. It's definitely 0 all the time because there is evidence. If you multiply 0, if you multiply 0 parts by 0, then you'll get 0 only. So same thing with 0 power 0. So the human society, it's so called advancing. Like there's so many new spaceships, models, cars, phones, so many. Everything is advancing. But what are they doing? They are starting the doubt. They are starting to doubt the absolute truth. That's the highest truth. They're doubting the truth, which is foolish. You cannot doubt truth because truth has evidence behind it. And initially, they thought that the world was flat. Okay, this world is flat. We are all flat earthers now. And then what happened? No, 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 it's round, it's round. Flat is wrong theory, this is round. So they will always come up with new ideas. And then who comes? Newton, who talked about all his physics and everything. Then came Einstein with all his theories. And so we are like the human society, we are trying to gradually nail down the mysteries of the universe. So we have advanced a lot, right? So we have now cars, phones, everything. We have advanced a lot. But what are we doing? What is that human society is doing? It is forgetting the basics. What is the basic? Spiritual life. So basics means like foundation. Even in a building, you can take. The foundation is the most important part of the building. Why is that? Because without the foundation, without a proper strong foundation, there is no use of the building. What will happen? If there is no good foundation, then the building will only collapse. What is the use? So therefore, we have to work on our basics. That will only give us strength for advancing. Next, we can also take a school as an example. So in school, we learn alphabets A, B, C, D, and then numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. We learn all those in kindergarten, LKG, UKG, or first class, second grade. So if we skip all those grades and we directly go to what fifth grade or fourth grade, then will we understand anything in that class? Of course not, because we don't even know the alphabets. We don't even know the basics. If you don't know the basics, how can you advance? So therefore, we have to learn the basics, which is the spiritual life. So now let's see what all sampradayas we have and how it all started. So actually, in the age of Kali Yuga, everything was sinful. People had no regard for scriptures, that is not the four regulative principles. And then what happened? The uh, people in general, they were eating meat and they are performing sins in name of the Vedas. They were telling in the Vedas they are eating meat, so we'll also eat meat. Why also? Why we also cannot eat? So they're following a wrong path. So then, to avoid this all uh, confusion in the age of Kali Yuga, first Lord Krishna descended as Lord Buddha. Buddha is Gautam Buddha. So Lord Buddha, he told that stop meat eating. You forget about the Vedas, but stop meat eating. Meat eating is sinful. You should just stop that. You should stop violence. So he gave the principle of ahimsa. So because that time it was so degraded, that's why uh, Lord Krishna had to make them forget about the Vedas only. Otherwise, they would not stop. After that, some Buddhism spread throughout India and its neighboring countries, and people started being started. Some people started um, being non-violent and stopping meat eating. So after that, uh, Lord Krishna, he Lord Krishna told Lord Shiva to create a bogus philosophy. Bogus means all false, incorrect philosophy. So Lord Shiva, he appeared as Shankaracharya. So Shankaracharya, he gave a bogus philosophy as Lord Shiva, but he gave a foundation for the later teachings. His philosophy is just partially correct. The rest of it is completely incorrect. So Shankaracharya, he gave the Advaita philosophy, but it does not come under Vaishnava Sampradaya. Why is that? You will come to know in a little bit. So next is the first Sampradaya, which is the Sri Sampradaya, and the principal Acharya is Ramanujacharya. and he gave the Vishishta Advaita philosophy. Next is Rudra Sampradaya. The principal Acharya is Vishnu Swami, and he gave Shuddha Advaita. Next is Brahma Sampradaya, and the principal Acharya is Madhvacharya. He gave the Dvaita philosophy. And all of us, ISKCON, we come under the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So, for us, the prominent Acharya, the principal Acharya is Madhvacharya. And then the final Sampradaya is Kumar Sampradaya. And principal Acharya is Nimbarkacharya. And he gave Dvaita Advaita philosophy. And then finally, after this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave a teaching. What is that? Achinta Beda Abeda Tattva. Okay. So now let us see proof of these sampradayas from Padma Purana. So the appearance of these sampradayas in the age of Kali Yuga was predicted long, long ago when the Padma Purana was being written. So there's two slokas in this Padma Puran which relate to the sampradayas. Sampradaya vihina ye mantraste nishfalam matha atah kalo bhavishyanti chatvara sampradayina Shri Brahma Rudra Sanaka Vaishnavakshiti Pavana Chatvaraste Kalo Bhavya Yutkale Purushottamat. So the first sloka, this translation is any mantra that does not come in disciplic succession is considered to be useless. Therefore, four divine individuals will appear in the age of Kali to found disciplic schools. The founders of these four Vaishnava Sampradayas are Lakshmi, Brahma, Rudra, and Sanaka Rishi. And their teachings will spread from Purushottama, that is Jagannath Puri in Orissa. So this was predicted long ago when the Padma Purana was being made. So then the second sloka is Ramanujam Sri Chakre Madhvacharyam Chaturmukha Shri Vishnu Swaminam Rudro Nimbadityam Chatussana. So Ramanujan was chosen by goddess Lakshmi to represent her sampradaya, which was Shri Sampradaya. And then Madhvacharya was chosen by the four-headed Brahma. Chaturmukha means four-headed. Madhvacharya was chosen by Brahma for representing his sampradaya, that is the Brahma Sampradaya. And then Vishnu Swami was chosen by Rudra, who is Lord Shiva, to represent the Rudra Sampradaya. And Nimbadityam or Nimbarkacharya was chosen by the four Kumaras to represent the Kumar Sampradaya. So now we will discuss about each of these philosophies and Sampradayas in detail, elaborately. So first comes Shankaracharya's Advaita philosophy. So his philosophy, his philosophy says everything is one and the same. So he's telling that everything in this world is one. And this world, he's telling, is full of illusions. And these illusions are false. All the variations are false. It's just illusion. He's telling everything is illusion. All those are illusion. All the variations are false and that's illusion. So that's what Shankaracharya's first teaching was. And then he also preached at that time when he was preaching, he told that the God and the soul are the same. And if there's and same, and if there is no God there is no God or no soul, he also told like that. God and soul same, no God or no soul. So then next he told that Brahman is the only truth. Brahman is like the effulgence, the rays of effulgence coming from Krishna's body. So impersonalists try to merge with that Brahman. And then he also told that all is one. And he concluded finally that God is impersonal, that God does not have a person. He is not a person. So this is a bogus philosophy. How can it be considered as a Vaishnava Sampradaya? It's completely wrong, therefore it's not a Vaishnava Sampradaya. So next we have Ramanujacharya's Vishishta Advaita philosophy. And he represents the Sri Sampradaya. So Sri Ramanuja is the most important philosopher saint of Sri Vaishnavism. And we should be very grateful to Ramanujacharya. Why? Because he actually refuted means opposed the Shankaracharya's philosophy. And Shankaracharya's philosophy was so vast that it grew to all of India and even the entire subcontinent, Indian subcontinent almost. So wherever he went, he got a lot of opposition. And um, every pandita or scholar in those days, even though Shankaracharya left the world, they would only discuss about what Shankaracharya told about his philosophy. They would also keep his deity also. So therefore, it was not at all easy for Ramanujacharya to counterattack the Shankaracharya's philosophy. So he came with what does that Vishishta Advaita? Vishishta Advaita. So what does that philosophy mean? That is, he told that the supreme personality of Godhead, Narayana, has a form. So Shankaracharya, he told, no, he is impersonal. He doesn't have a form. But Ramanujacharya, he is correcting it and he is telling that he has a form. And what form? An eternal form. Eternal means everlasting. And he lives and he has an eternal abode and he lives in there. He is merged in loving pastimes with his devotees all the time. So then he also taught that he explained about the supreme Lord, the um, God, God and the soul being the same. He taught about that. That is partially correct. So, but the God and the soul are the same qualitatively. That means they are Satchitananda. Both are Satchitananda. So there is qualitatively the same. In quality, they are the same. But what is the difference? The Supreme Lord is infinite and the living entities are infinitesimal. Infinitesimal means finite. So we can take an example here. What is that example? So now all of us, we are in the conference call. We are in the conference call, right? So we are listening to the lecture from our home. So is it possible for us to be in Balgoin Prabhuji's house at this time? Either we can be at our house or we can be at Prabhuji's house. So that's how finite we are. We cannot be in different places at the same point of time. We are infinitesimal. But on the other hand, Krishna, some of us, most of us may have pictures of Krishna or deities of Krishna in our houses. So Krishna is present in every one of our houses in that form, and then Krishna is also there inside us also. So inside every living entity is Krishna is there as Paramatma, so he's there in that form also. And then what is our house made of? It's made of material, wood, steel, all wood, steel, concrete, everything is there, right? In those, if you cut until it's indivisible, then there'll be some atoms, and even in those atoms, Lord Krishna will be there. So Lord Krishna is like it's all around our house, even in air. Krishna is everywhere, and we have to understand that. That is how infinite Krishna is. Even the air particles also have atoms, and in those atoms also Krishna is there. So therefore, Krishna is omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. So that there are three omnis, and we have to remember those. And he is also the ultimate source of all the energies. So, what is the conclusion of Ramanujacharya's Vishishta Advaita philosophy? It is that there are three things: Jiva, Ajiva, Ishvara. So, what is Jiva? Soul. Ajiva is matter. Ishvara is God. So, in these, the soul is sentient. Sentient means conscious, having having ability to feel something. So, emotions we can feel. The soul can feel it. But matter is non-sentient. Matter is does not have consciousness. It cannot feel anything. And who is Ishvara then? Ishvara is the source of both of them. He is the source of soul and he is the source of matter. So we have to surrender to God. So now let us discuss some pastimes of Ramanujacharya. So Ramanujacharya, he actually first appeared in the year 1017 or 1017. So long ago, more than 1000 years ago, 1003 years ago, he appeared, Ramanujacharya. So his name actually has a meaning, Ramanuja. Ramanuja. It means that Rama means Lord Ramachandra. He came in the Treta, okay, everyone knows that. And then Anuja means one who follows. So who is the person who follows Ramachandra, Lord Ramachandra? That person is Lakshmana. And therefore, Ramanujacharya is not none different to Lakshmana. It's none other than Lakshmana. So Ramanujacharya is just an incarnation of Lakshmana. So from childhood only, Ramanujacharya had believed that at that time there was a lot of caste system going on. That if you were born in a Brahmana family, you will be a Brahmana. But he didn't believe that. He strongly believed the qualities, that the guna, the activities decide the varna, and not the birth. So he always used to question his spiritual master. Who is his spiritual master? That is Yadvacharya. His spiritual master was Yadvacharya. But what is the why did he used to question is because he was a Mayavadi spiritual master. Mayavadi means the philosophy of Shankaracharya. So, due to Ramanujacharya, his power of debating and him being so powerful, and he was able to overthrow the entire Mayavad philosophy. So Yadvacharya, he was very afraid that he didn't want his philosophy to be ruined or overthrown. So he became very bad-minded and he wanted to kill Ramanujacharya. So what they did, they was set up to plan to throw him into Ganga. So, but Ramanujacharya, he took a few months to travel to Ganga from his hometown, his place where he lives. And when he was near Ganga, his brother told him that Yadvacharya was trying to kill him and that he should not go. And he also revealed their plan. He exposed their plan. And therefore, uh, he asked the help of a hunter couple and he started coming back south to his hometown. So, uh, after a few days, 3 or 4 days, he was sleeping, and suddenly the hunter couple disappeared. So then he found himself near to a close by town. So he went to that town. What did he do there? He asked, "How far is it to Kanchipuram here?" Kanchipuram was his actually his hometown, and so and the people of those place replied that this is only Kanchipuram. And then Ramanujacharya was so shocked because while going to Ganga, it took a few weeks, almost a month. But while coming back, it only took 3 or 4 days. How is that? But then he understood that, oh, the hunter couple was none other than Radha and Krishna. Okay. So once when Ramanujacharya, he went to Puri. Puri is in Orissa, right? Purushottamat, Jagannath Puri. So there, the worshippers of the Jagannath, the pujaris of the Jagannath, they had pure love for Jagannath, the highest pure devotee, and they didn't regard the official deity worship process, which was actually in the Vedas. They didn't care about that because they had pure love for Jagannath. So why do they have to they didn't have any regard to the official deity worship process. So therefore, Ramanujacharya actually he ordered them to hello, you should follow the official deity worship process. It's described in the Vedas. You have to follow them. So okay, the devotees of Jagannath, okay, they accepted because Ramanujacharya was a great scholar. He was a great sage. He was a great personality, right? So that's why they accepted it. So at that night he was sleeping in his guest house in Jagannath. So he was sleeping and he got a dream about Jagannath. What is that? Lord Jagannath, he chastised him and he said, O Ramanujacharya, you may be honored throughout the world, but do not interfere between the love of me and my devotees. Let them worship me as it is. I like it that way. So, Lord Jagannath doesn't want Ramanujacharya to interfere. He's telling, let them worship in their own ways. I like it like that. So then what happened? Some people say that Lord Jagannath had pushed Ramanujacharya, and some other people who had courage in everything they told that Lord Jagannath had kicked Ramanujacharya. So after he woke up from his sleep after the dream, he found himself in Andhra Pradesh. So basically, he was kicked out of Jagannath Puri because of that. He, uh, so uh, so now let's discuss of Madhvacharya who gave the Dvaita philosophy. So he represents the Brahma Sampradaya, right? So there was actually one great example here. So when Madhvacharya is the original Acharya, he is the principal Acharya for those who belong to the Madhva Brahma Gaudiya Sampradaya or Brahma Sampradaya. So uh, in this was actually in the Srimad Bhagavatam 6.1.40, that sixth canto, first chapter 40. So in this purport, so Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, it is also known as the Brahma Sampradaya because the disciplic succession, it actually started from home, from Brahma it started. The disciplic succession started from Brahma, and then Brahma instructed the sage Narada. Narada instructed the Vyasdev, and Vyasdev instructed Madhvacharya. So, what did Madhvacharya tell? He actually told that what is his philosophy? He told that the deity form of the Lord, the carvings of the Lord, inviting Lord Krishna to stay in a temple or anything or house, then that is Krishna and that deity form are one and the same, and that Krishna is present in that deity. So therefore, Madhvacharya established very good, proper way of deity worship, and he also concluded that devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate goal of life. So now let us discuss some amazing pastimes of Madhvacharya. So Madhvacharya, he was born in Udupi and he was the founder of the Brahma Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya. So actually, so um, Lord Shiva was told by Lord Vishnu to create a bogus philosophy, right? So therefore he came as Shankaracharya to give the Mayavad philosophy. So now Madhvacharya has gotten the opportunity, the chance to fight against the Mayavad philosophy. So now uh, So actually, Madhvacharya is actually the incarnation of Lord Vayu. Who is Lord Vayu? Lord Vayu is the demigod of wind. So in Treta Yuga, Vayu actually descended in the incarnation of Hanuman. And then in Dwapar Yuga, he was Bhima, one of the Pandavas, right? And in Kali Yuga, he descended as Madhvacharya. So from his childhood, his parents used to call him whom Vasudev, and he had many wonderful stories with his parents, and he enjoyed all the rasas and everything. So there's also a small sentence which will help us remember the pastimes of Madhvacharya. So what are those pastimes? So we will discuss in this sentence. So the sentence is snake, seeds, lessons from stick to marriage. So in this small sentence, we can remember all the past tense of Madhvacharya. So first, snake. So at the age of 0, when he was only a few months old, Madhvacharya, he killed a snake, a giant cobra, huge, by just smashing it to a rock. Smashing it to a small rock, that's it. And then seeds, next seeds, right? So once his father, Madhvacharya's father, he had piled up so many debts. He had many debts to many people. So Madhvacharya told, father, you have so many debts, right? You take these tamarind seeds and you pay the debts off. So then Madhvacharya's father was confused. Huh? What do you mean? How will these small tamarind seeds help paying off the debts? They are not even any gold coins. So Madhvacharya insisted, Father, just take them, just hold them at least, just hold them, that's it. And then when Madhvacharya's father said, okay, okay, let's see what will happen. And Madhvacharya's father held the seeds, and all the seeds became gold coins. So many gold coins. His hand was filled with gold coins, and he paid off all the debts, and he had excess money, gold coins also. So therefore, Madhvacharya's father, he understood that his son was not an ordinary person. Okay. Now next, what we have lessons. So at the age of eight in his Gurukul, he always used to wander and have fun with his friends. He would not listen to the class of his guru. So one day his guru got angry. Yeah, Madhvacharya, come here. What are you doing? Why are you going? Why are you having fun while not listening to my class? So his guru got angry and called him. And then Madhvacharya told whatever the Guru had said in that class, but whatever he told in before classes, and whatever he was going to tell us. So that means he told the past, present, and future. He told all three of them. So, so then what happened? At the age of 10, uh, at the age of 10, his Guru said, what did he tell? You go, you don't need anything from here. You already know everything. Why do you need to stay in this Gurukul? You don't need to be here. You go, Madhvacharya, you go. So therefore, Madhvacharya left the Gurukul. So after that, what happened? So, uh, so there was one other great pastime. What is that? So Madhvacharya's mother, she would sometimes feel anxious about Madhvacharya. He's playing somewhere. Madhvacharya is playing somewhere and feeling anxious. So that's how Madhvacharya's mother would feel like. So then, whenever Madhvacharya's mother would feel like that, he would just jump to her in just one jump. He would come before her in one jump. So from wherever he was playing, even thousands of millions of miles away also, he would just come in one jump. Easily he would come just one jump. So why is that? Because Lord Madhvacharya is none other than Hanuman in different incarnations. And Hanuman is the greatest of the monkeys and is the greatest of the leapers also. Leapers means whoever, he is the greatest of the jumpers. He can jump from any distance. He can jump how much ever farther he wants. So therefore, in this form also Madhvacharya could jump that far. So then now we will discuss stick to marriage in the sentence. From stick to marriage. So uh, he told his father once that, father, I am going to overthrow Mayavadi. And he also told, I will become a great world scholar. So, and he also told one more thing. I also want to break the teeth of Mayavadi. So at that time, Mayavadi was universal. And everyone throughout the entire world knew about it. Entire globe. So then his father told, uh, if this stick can manifest itself into a tree, you can become a world preacher and defeat Mayavad. So his father, he gave a stick to Madhvacharya. What happened then? He thought that, no, no, this stick is never going to turn into a tree. So he also concluded that his son was never going to be a world preacher and he was never going to be overthrowing or breaking the teeth of Mayavad. So then what did Madhvacharya tell? Is it that simple? Only this stick has to become a tree. Okay, no problem, no problem. That's very easy. I'll do it in a few seconds. So then what did Madhvacharya do? He broke the stick into three pieces. Okay, he broke it into three pieces. And he placed them each into the ground. One by one, he placed them, the three sticks in the ground. Then suddenly three trees came out. And then he said his father, you asked for one tree, I am giving you three. So then his father was surprised and understood the power of his son. And he said, oh my God, you are really going to be a world preacher now. And you are also going to defeat and overthrow Mayavad, and you are going to break the teeth of Mayavad. So after this big story, because his father didn't want Madhvacharya to become a world preacher, because that means that he would leave. He would leave his father and mother. So that's why they tried to get him married, so that he won't take sannyas. Then Madhvacharya bluntly he refused that I will take sannyas. That's the only thing I can do. And then what happened? His mother and father, they were crying and they fell at his feet. So then Madhvacharya was smiling. How come he's smiling if his father is crying at his feet? Because he knew one thing. What is that? A father only offers obeisances. So a son can offer obeisances to a father. A father can only embrace the son. But if the father is offering obeisances to son, what does that mean? That means that the father is only the father only offers obeisances to his son at one point of time. And what is that time? When he is going to take sannyas. So then, after so many arguments, Madhvacharya gave one final option, two final options. What is that? I'll give you two options, father and mother, beloved father and mother. I will either not take sannyas and never meet you again, or I will take sannyas and come back to visit regularly. So uh, after this, his parents agreed. He agreed. They agreed with him, and Madhvacharya he took sannyas at the age of 12. That's so early, right? He took sannyas. So uh, if you take the Bhagavad Gita Siksha line, in the Bhagavad Gita at the start or end of the book we have a Siksha line of all the gurus starting from Brahma, because we belong to the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So who was Madhvacharya's Siksha Guru? Just like we have Balgoin Prabhuji as our Siksha Guru, Madhvacharya had his Siksha from Vyasdev. And then who is Diksha Guru? Madhvacharya took Diksha from Achyutya Preksha. So now in this Bhagavad Gita Siksha line, first Brahma gave the knowledge to Narada, then Vyasa, then Madhvacharya comes in the Siksha line. So then after Madhvacharya, he imparted to all his disciples, and that the disciplic succession started like that. And then finally it came to Srila Prabhupada. Then Srila Prabhupada he spread it worldwide, and that is how we became in the part of the Brahma Madhva Sampradaya. So but one will get a doubt also, because how will Vyasadev impart the knowledge to Madhvacharya, because their age is so far apart. Vyasadev was somewhere born in Dwapar Yuga and Madhvacharya he is in Kali Yuga. How will they meet? So you have to understand one thing, because Vyasadev and Madhvacharya, they are both part of the seven Chiranjeevis. There are seven Chiranjeevis, right? Who are those? Vyasadev, Hanuman, Parsuram, Vibhishan, Ashwatthama, Mahabali, and Kripa. So these seven Chiranjeevis, they can meet at any time. But how is Madhvacharya a Chiranjeevi? Because Hanuman is a Chiranjeevi, and both uh, Madhvacharya and Hanuman are just same Vayu, same demigod Vayu, right? But just in different incarnations. So Madhvacharya, he told he's a world preacher only, world scholar. He wanted to become a great world scholar, and that was true only. He was traveling throughout the world, and in that course, he came to Badrikashram. What is Badrikashram? It's a place of pilgrimage, and where is that? It's somewhere very high in the Himalayas. So over there in Badrikashram, he met Vyasdev, and then he also explained his Bhagavad Gita commentary before him, and um, in under the feet of Vyasdev, under the lotus feet of Vyasdev, he became a great world scholar, studying before Vyasdev. Another great beautiful pastime is Madhvacharya. He actually once when he returned to Udupi, he would sometimes bathe in the ocean just to purify himself. So then, near the shore of the ocean, he saw a huge merchant ship in danger. It was in severe danger. And what did Madhvacharya do? He signaled the crew of the merchant ship, and he signaled to them. And then what happened? The crew safely came to the shore. And what did the boat owners do? They wanted to reward him. And Madhvacharya, he agreed to accept a chunk of Gopi Chandan. And then the crew members were bringing the big chunk of Gopi Chandan before him. And when it came before him, it broke apart and revealed a deity form of Lord Krishna. With that form, it has a stick in one hand and a lump of food in it. At this moment, because Madhvacharya was overwhelmed with gratitude, he he was overwhelmed with love for Krishna. He composed a beautiful prayer, and the deity was actually very heavy. Even 40 or 50 ordinary people, normal people, they couldn't lift it. And Madhvacharya, he alone, he took it, brought the deity back to his home. So that is the power of Madhvacharya. And then to this day, even the people of Udupi still worship this Krishna deity in the way Madhvacharya actually established. So this deity, it was actually very great. It had a long history, and it had history till from Dwapar Yuga. So in Dwarka, Devaki he came to see Krishna. Devaki is the actual mother of Lord Krishna, and she told to Lord Krishna, he told Krishna, son, I saw you as a baby, but I never saw your baby pastimes. Can you please show it to me? So Devaki asked like this. So Krishna is very merciful, right? So he transformed into a baby and he showed his pastimes in front of Vedaki, Devaki. So Rukmini, who is the first wife and the foremost wife of Lord Krishna, she came to know that uh, that Krishna performed the Vatsalya pastimes, Vatsalya Rasa pastimes, and Rukmini also requested that Krishna also showed to her. She also wanted to see, but Krishna said, "No, no. How is it possible? I can show my mother, but I cannot show my wife." So, and then out of imagination, he created a beautiful deity. The deity was this deity only, and then uh, he gave it to Rukmini. And Rukmini, she worshipped this deity so many years. But after Krishna's time passed, Arjuna had came to escort all the queens, right? All the queens of Lord Krishna. Krishna had so many queens. So all those queens he was escorting. And he even took this deity and he preserved it in Gopi Kund. So finally, somehow or the other, it came into this boat. And the boat owners had given it to Madhvacharya, and Madhva recovered this deity. So, Madhvacharya's pastimes are actually endless. There are so many pastimes of Madhvacharya. And Madhvacharya, he also gave one more teaching. It's kind of like an example. What is that? That he used to say that gravity says what goes up will always come down. So if we throw a ball up, it will always come down, right? But Krishna is so merciful that Krishna's mercy is the complete opposite of gravity. What goes down will always come up. Whatever living entity goes down to the material world will always come up. So now we have another great pastime an example. So in the Bhagavatam, Canto 10 means like all the pastimes of Lord Krishna. So in the 13th and 14th chapter, we have the story of Brahma stealing the calves of Lord Krishna and the cowboys by getting bewildered on seeing Krishna. And he was thinking that how is Lord Krishna is a god like that. So in Madhvacharya's commentary, he actually didn't give any purport for 13th and 14th chapter. Why? Because Madhvacharya was actually uh, Brahma was Madhvacharya's guru. And how can a disciple of a guru write about the guru's bewilderment only? That will be wrong, right? That will be incorrect. And that's why for those two chapters, he did not give any purport. He didn't strike it off completely, but he didn't give any purport. So now let's discuss about the teachings of Vishnu Swami, who gave the Shuddha Advaita philosophy from the Rudra Sampradaya. So Vishnu Swami, he focuses on the servitorship to the Lord and complete dependence on Krishna. And then Nimbarkacharya gave the Dvaita Advaita philosophy, which is the Komar Sampradaya, and he gave that he preached the name of Hari before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So before he actually used to worship Lord Shiva, and after satisfying Lord Shiva, uh, Lord Shiva told him to take initiation from four Kumaras. So after taking initiation from the Kumaras, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had instructed the Nimbarkacharya, Nimbaditya. So he told he preached the name of Radhe and Krishna. So Radhe is first because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually told that Radharani is supreme and the gopis' love for Krishna is also supreme. That's what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had told to Nimbaditya, Nimbarkacharya. So in this way, Nimbarkas are the followers of the Kumar Sampradaya or Nimbarkacharya's followers. They used to they use a similar holy name to that, which is almost like the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, but it's like on the lines of Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna. So then finally, after this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave Achinta Beda Abeda Tattva. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he accepted two or three good points from each sampradaya, each teaching. So first, from Shuddha Advaita philosophy from Vishnu Swami, from the Rudra Sampradaya, Lord Krishna accepted servitorship to Krishna and the spontaneous devotional service with emotions. So that was from the Rudra Sampradaya. Next, um, from Madhvacharya, who gave the Dvaita philosophy, Brahma Sampradaya, um, he accepted the worship of Krishna's deities, and the deity is non-different from the Lord, and both of them, the deity and the Lord, are eternal. So from Ramanujacharya, he accepted uh, Ananya Bhakti and Vaishnav Seva. So that's from the Sri Sampradaya. So Ananyata actually means Ananya Bhakti. It actually comes from the word Nanya. Nanya means no other. So next, finally, the Nimbarkacharya who gave the Dvaita Dvaita philosophy, uh, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had accepted take shelter of Radharani, and that the gopis' love for Krishna is the supreme, and Radharani is the supreme. So like this, from each sampradaya, from each teaching, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted a different teaching. So finally, after all accepting all these teachings, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he compiled it into one full complete truth, and then he also gave another teaching, which is that Achinta Beda Abeda Tattva. What does that mean? It actually means that the soul and the God, they are one and the same in quality only, but different. They are different in quantity. God is infinite, and the soul is infinitesimal. So now let's just have a small conclusion of what we have already discussed today, and so we'll just start from Shankaracharya's philosophy. Shankaracharya gave the Advaita philosophy, and he says that everything is one and the same, and he also meant that God is impersonal. He does not have a form. And he also told that Brahman is supreme. And the next is Ramanujacharya, who gave the Vishishta Advaita philosophy, and he says that God has a form, name, qualities, characters, and that is God, not an impersonal feature. And then Ramanujacharya, he also told Advaita, because he also added Advaita in this philosophy, Vishishta Advaita. Shankaracharya's was Advaita. This is Vishishta Advaita. This is like a proper version of the Advaita philosophy. So Advaita means both God and soul are the same, Satchidananda. They are same in quality but not in quantity. So next, Madhvacharya's Dvaita philosophy, he says that the deity worship he established deity worship in the deity form of the Lord and the Supreme Lord are the same. And he also established that devotional service to Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the life's ultimate goal. And then next, Vishnu Swami Shuddha Advaita philosophy, which focuses on servitorship to Krishna and taking complete dependence on Krishna. And finally, Nimbarkacharya's Dvaita Advaita philosophy says that Radharani is supreme and the gopis' love for Krishna is also supreme. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Haribol Ananta.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
You're becoming confident day by day, and the way you are expressing your expressions, they are becoming, you are improving a lot. And fantastic, Ananta.
Thank you,
Nice,
Mataji.
Nana.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Good, Nana. Improve. You should become a very good preacher, and we all should feel proud of you, Nana.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Ananth.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
You came back again with bang. చాలా రోజులైంది నీ ప్రీచ్ లేదు. మొన్న మీ ఇంటికి వచ్చినప్పుడు నేను ఫాదర్ని అడిగాను, వీఆర్ మిస్సింగ్ అనంత సో మచ్ నవ్ డేస్ వై ఈజ్ నాట్ ప్రీచింగ్ అండ్ యూ కేమ్ బ్యాక్ విత్ బ్యాంగ్ అండ్ యూ గేవ్ సో మెనీ డీటెయిల్స్ అనమాట. ఇన్ఫాక్ట్ నాకు కూడా చాలా తెలియదు ఇందులో. మధ్వాచార్య ఈ సంప్రదాయాల గురించి తెలుసు కానీ ఇంత డెప్త్ మనకు అంత ఐడియా లేదనమాట. బట్ యూ గేవ్ ఆల్ ద ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. యాక్చువల్లీ చాలా నాకు తెలియదు ఇందులో. ఐ రియల్లీ సర్ప్రైజ్డ్ అనమాట. Very good, Nana. Keep it up and give frequently. I request Balagand Prabhuji also to give you a chance. So, Mammal Rose enlighten cheyali nee lectures tho. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Definitely, Prabhuji. I'll prepare more.
Hare Krishna, Ananta.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
నీ వాయిస్ మారిపోయింది, పెద్దవాడైపోయినావు. నేను గుర్తుపట్టలేదు అసలు. ఎవరా అని చెప్పి లేట్ గా జాయిన్ అయినట్టున్నా. చూసేస్తే అప్పుడు అనంత సాయి అనంత కింద నీ వాయిస్ మారిపోయింది. ఓకే, చాలా బాగా చెప్పాను. నన్ను ఎక్కడికి టెంపుల్ ఏంటది, మధ్వాచార్య టెంపుల్, అది చిన్న కృష్ణుడు ఉన్న టెంపుల్, ఉడిపికి తీసుకెళ్ళిపోయాను. మేము వెళ్ళి వచ్చామన్నమాట. అక్కడ 2-3 రోజులు ఉన్నాం అక్కడ. అవన్నీ ఆయన మధ్వాచార్య గారి పాస్ట్ టైమ్స్ అన్ని కూడా అవన్నీ ఏరియా అంతా ఉన్నది కదా, అవన్నీ చూసి వచ్చాము. అవన్నీ బాగా మళ్ళీ నాకు అవన్నీ బాగా గుర్తు చేసావు నాన్న. చాలా చాలా హ్యాపీగా ఉంది. అవును, ఆ ప్రభు చెప్పినట్టుగా నువ్వు అప్పుడప్పుడు మాకు రావాలి. చాలా రోజులైంది నేను మిస్ అయినా మేము. ఎందుకంటే మన గ్రూపులో నువ్వే అసలు మెయిన్ ఫస్ట్ ప్రీచర్వి కాబట్టి నువ్వు తప్పకుండా మంచి ఆల్రెడీ ప్రీచర్వే, ఇంకా బ్రహ్మాండంగా కూడా మంచి ప్రీచింగ్ చేస్తావు. నీకు చాలా మంచి భవిష్యత్తు ఉంది. గాడ్ బ్లెస్ యు నాన్న. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ ఫర్ గివింగ్ దిస్.
హరే కృష్ణ.
హరే కృష్ణ. హరే కృష్ణ.
Hare Krishna, Ananth Sai.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
We can call you as Prabhuji also. You have lots and lots of knowledge, Aslu, transcendental knowledge. Already you gained so much, and really thank you. Thanks a lot for sharing all this information. For really, okay, 1% also maybe I heard about 4 Sampradayas, not more than that. ఎంత ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇచ్చామంటే ఐ హ్యావ్ టు అగైన్ అండ్ అగైన్ లిసన్ టు దిస్ అగైన్ యూట్యూబ్ లో మళ్ళీ చూడాలి, వినాలి. దెన్ ఓన్లీ మేబీ ఐ కెన్ అట్లీస్ట్ కాంటెంప్లేట్ ఆన్ వాట్ యూ సెడ్ అండ్ ఆల్ దట్. రియల్లీ థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. హరే కృష్ణ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ మాతాజీ. హరే కృష్ణ.
సుమనా మాతాజీ వాళ్ళ క్రెడిట్ ఇదంతా. అసలు ముందు వాళ్ళ ట్రైనింగ్, పద్మ మాతాజీ, సుమనా మాతాజీ, పవన్ ప్రభు అందరూ కలిపి మీకు మంచిది ఇస్తున్నారు. బాల్ గోవింద్ ప్రభుజీ అయితే ఆల్వేస్ మనందరికి ఇంకా శిక్షా గురు. రియల్లీ వెరీ గుడ్, వెరీ గుడ్. ఐ అప్రిషియేట్ ఇట్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
అనంత దగ్గర అనంత మా గ్రూప్ లో లేడు. హీఈస్ బియాండ్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ us. సో అక్కడ మేము లేనా, అండ్ హీ గెట్స్ ట్రైన్ ఫ్రమ్ టెంపుల్. సో సుమనా మాతాజీ కూడా అనంత చెప్తూ ఉంటాడు.
Oh, really great.
It's only encouragement, Sumna Mataji.
He's one way like Madhvacharya and coach.
At the temple,
చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి
Yes,
God's
Mataji,
grace
that
అంతే.
is correct. What you said is correct, Mataji. నేను లెక్చర్స్ చెప్పాలన్నా నేను ముందల ఆనంద్కి వినిపిస్తాను మాతాజీ.
అవును.
ఏమన్నా
Really?
ఉంటే నాకు కరెక్ట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాడు అనమాట. అలా కాదమ్మా ఇలా చెప్పు అని చెప్పి నాకు.
You are blessed, Mataji, to have a son like this, really.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ మాతాజీ. మీ అందరి బ్లెస్సింగ్స్ ఎప్పుడు కావాలి మాతాజీ వాడికి.
తప్పకుండా అమ్మ, తప్పకుండా ఆల్వేస్ తెలిపితే
Sumna Mataji
లార్డ్ కృష్ణ ఉంది మనకందరికి. మీ భగవంతుడు ఉన్నాడు, ఆ తర్వాత మా అందరి తప్పకుండా. హరే
థ్యాంక్ యూ
కృష్ణ.
మాతాజీ.
హరే కృష్ణ అని చాలా బాగా చెప్పాను. చాలా చాలా వైడ్ టాపిక్స్ తీసుకున్నావు, చాలా డీప్ గా అనాలిసిస్ చేసి చెప్పావు మాకందరికి కూడా. సో గాడ్ బ్లెస్ యూ అనంత్, యూ హ్యావ్ ఎ వెరీ వెరీ బ్రైట్ ఫ్యూచర్. సో అందరు చెప్పినట్టుగా మీ పేరెంట్స్ బ్లెస్డ్, యూ ఆర్ ఆల్సో బ్లెస్డ్. హరే కృష్ణ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ ప్రభుజీ. హరే కృష్ణ.
Hare Krishna, Ananth. Hi, this is the first time that I've heard you. Mummy told me about you and I heard from her, but I don't think I know 0.1% of what you even know. And it's such an honor to listen to you. Congratulations and God bless you.
థ్యాంక్ యూ మాతాజీ. హరే కృష్ణ.
Hare Krishna.
గాడ్ బ్లెస్ యూ కన్నయ్య. నిజంగా ఎక్సలెంట్ గా ఉంది. అసలు చాలా ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇచ్చారు. నిజంగా చాలా బాగుంది బాబు.
థ్యాంక్ యూ మాతాజీ. హరే కృష్ణ. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Anybody else? Did anybody recognize what is the change? Change చూసారా అండి? What has changed from earlier to now?
వాయిస్ చేంజ్ అయిపోయింది ప్రభు.
Voice change. Yep. చివర్లో నేను వింటూ లాస్ట్ లో నిద్రలోకి వెళ్ళిపోయాను. బట్ ఐ వాజ్ హియరింగ్, చెవులో వినబడుతున్నాయి. అదేదో కన్వర్సేషన్ అవుతుంది అనమాట. ఎవరి నుంచి వింటున్నారు మీరంటే, మీకు తెలీదా అనంత చైతన్య ప్రభు మాట్లాడుతున్నాడు మీకు అని చెప్తున్నారు. అర్థమైందా?
అర్థమైంది ప్రభు. అనంత చైతన్య మహాప్రభు.
ఆయన ఇనిషియేషన్ కూడా అయిపోయింది. ఇప్పుడు ఆయన పేరు అనంత చైతన్య దాస్.
అవును ప్రభు.
సో అది ఓకే, వెరీ గుడ్ అనంత.
థ్యాంక్ యూ జీ. హరే కృష్ణ.
క్వశ్చన్స్ ఏం లేవా?
మళ్ళీ వినాలి ప్రభుజీ, అప్పుడు కానీ కాస్త ఇంకోటి ఏదన్నా అడగడానికన్నా ఉంటుంది. అలా చెప్పారు, అసలు చిన్న బాబైనా చెప్పారు అంటున్నాను చూడండి. మీరు అన్నట్టు చైతన్య మహాప్రభు పలికించినట్టే చెప్పేశారు. అసలు ఆ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ కి మళ్ళీ అడగాలంటే ఇంకోసారి వినాలి ప్రభుజీ.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ. నేనే మిమ్మల్ని 4 సాంప్రదాయాల గురించి అడగాలనుకున్నాను ప్రభుజీ. అనంత చెప్పేశాడు.
ఓ కృష్ణ హర్డ్ యూ మాది, అందుకని కృష్ణ టుక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్.
నాకే ఒక క్వశ్చన్ ఉండేది మాత ప్రభుజీ, అడగాలని అనుకున్నాను. అనంత ఈ రోజు నాకు ఫుల్ఫిల్ చేశాడు. థ్యాంక్ యూ అనంత ప్రభు.
హరే కృష్ణ మాతాజీ. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
సో అనంత, యూ హావ్ టు స్పీక్ ఫ్రీక్వెంట్లీ. గ్యాప్ ఎక్కువైపోయింది ఈ మధ్య.
ఎస్ ప్రభుజీ.
ఆఫ్ కోర్స్ యూ హ్యావ్ స్టడీ కూడా ఉంది కదా. సో బట్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ చాలా రోజులైంది ఈ మధ్య నువ్వు మాట్లాడు. ఓకే,
It was almost half a year, Prabhuji, almost. I think.
Yeah. Yes.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ, దండవత్ ప్రణాం ప్రభుజీ.
దండవత్ ప్రణాం ప్రభు.
ప్రభుజీ, ఇప్పుడు అనంత్ చివర్లో ఇప్పుడు కాన్వర్సేషన్ లో ఇప్పుడు ఇవాళ లెక్చర్ లో 4 సంప్రదాయాల్ని కంపైల్ చేసి మనకి చైతన్య ప్రభు అచింత్య భేదాన్ని మనకి వివరించారని చెప్పారు. దెన్ సబ్సిక్వెంట్లీ హరే కృష్ణ మహామంత్రం వచ్చింది ప్రభుజీ.
యా, యాక్చువల్గా మహాప్రభు ఏంటది 3 సంప్రదాయాల నుంచి, ఒక్కొక్క సంప్రదాయం నుంచి 2 పాయింట్స్ తీసుకొని శ్రీ సంప్రదాయం, రుద్ర సంప్రదాయం, కుమార సంప్రదాయం 3 6 ప్లస్ ఇక్కడ ఒక 2 8 పాయింట్లు. గౌడీయ వైష్ణవిజం based on these 8 points and plus Hare Krishna mantra. What was that he took from Sri Sampradaya? Sri Sampradaya నుంచి 2 తీసుకున్నాడు. ఒకటి
ప్రభుజీ అనన్య భక్తి అండ్ వైష్ణవ సేవ.
అనన్య భక్తి, ఎస్, అనన్య భక్తి వైష్ణవ సేవ. ఓకే, okay, so then there are no more questions. Then 8 o'clock we'll do something for 5 minutes. క్లాస్ త్వరగా అయిపోయినట్టుంది కదా.
ప్రభుజీ, వాళ్ళు కూడా ఇప్పుడు ఎవరైతే ఆ 4 సంప్రదాయాస్ ఇప్పుడు ఇంకా బయట ఉన్నాయి కదా, వాళ్ళు కూడా కంపల్సరీగా ఇలాగే ఫాలో అవ్వాలి కదా ప్రభుజీ చివరిలో. ఇప్పుడు ఈవెన్ దో ఆల్ బ్రహ్మ రుద్ర అవన్నీ ఉన్నాయి కదా, లక్ష్మీ సంప్రదాయం ఇవన్నీ ప్రభుజీ, శ్రీ సంప్రదాయం ఇవన్నీ, వాళ్ళు ఈవెన్ ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళకి కూడా కొన్ని ఉన్నాయి కదా ప్రభుజీ, మఠాలు కానీ అవి ఇవన్నీ. ఇప్పుడు కొన్ని ఇంకా కొన్ని ప్లేస్ లో వాళ్ళు కూడా దే హావ్ టు ఫాలో అల్టిమేట్లీ చైతన్య మహాప్రభు ఫిలాసఫీ కదండి.
యు మీన్ ద వైష్ణవ సంప్రదాయాల లేక వేరే సంప్రదాయాల, అవైష్ణవ సంప్రదాయాల?
ఇప్పుడు ఈ 4 సంప్రదాయాలు ఏదైతే ఉన్నాయో ప్రభుజీ, ఈ 4 సంప్రదాయాలు స్టిల్ దే ఎగ్జిస్ట్ ప్రభుజీ ఆఫ్టర్ చైతన్య మహాప్రభు ఆల్సో?
ఉన్నారు వాళ్ళు ఇప్పుడు. యా, ఎస్పెషల్లీ అఫ్ కోర్స్ ఇంత ప్రామినెన్స్ లేదు.
అవును ప్రభుజీ.
ఇప్పుడు మోర్ ప్రామినెంట్ ఏంటంటే శ్రీ సంప్రదాయం మనకు తెలుసు సౌత్ ఇండియాలో.
అవును ప్రభుజీ.
వెరీ లిటిల్ ప్రెజెన్స్ ఇన్ నార్త్ ఇండియా, బట్ సౌత్ ఇండియాలో మట్టుకి ఇంకా మనకు తెలిసిందే శ్రీరంగం హెడ్ క్వార్టర్స్. రుద్ర సంప్రదాయం, కుమార సంప్రదాయం. కుమారు సంప్రదాయం పుష్టి మార్గ్ అని మనకి ఎక్కడ ద్వారక దగ్గర, దాని పేరేంది, మనం వెళ్ళాం అక్కడికి, పేరే మర్చిపోయాను నేను. శ్రీనాథ్, నాథ్ద్వారా, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ పుష్టి మార్గ్. ఈ పుష్టి మార్గు దీంట్లోంచి వచ్చింది, ఏది కుమార సాంప్రదాయం నుంచి వచ్చింది. ఎవరు పేరేం పేరు, పెద్ద ఆయన ఉన్నాడు కదా, రిచ్ పర్సన్, అంబానీ కొడుకు పేరు ఏం పేరు, అనిల్ అంబానీ. అనిల్ అంబానీ వాళ్ళు ఆ పుష్టి మార్గం ఫాలో అవుతారు.
ఓకే ప్రభుజీ.
సో దట్ ఈస్ ప్రామినెంట్ అక్కడ. అంటే ఇంత వైడ్ ఇది లేదు, స్టిల్ ప్రామినెంట్ గా ఉంది. ఒక్కటి కొంచెం తగ్గిందంటే రుద్ర సాంప్రదాయం. వాళ్ళు పెద్దగా అంటే ఎక్కడున్నదో కూడా తెలియదు నాకు, బట్ వైష్ణవ, బోనాఫైడ్ వైష్ణవ సాంప్రదాయం అది కూడా, ఇంత ప్రామినెన్స్ అయితే లేదు. సో అది బట్ ఉన్నారు.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ, వాళ్ళ లిటరేచర్ ఏంటి ప్రభు? మనం శ్రీమద్ భాగవతము భగవద్గీత కదా,
వాళ్ళు భగవద్గీత
అంటే సేమా ప్రభు? కాకపోతే మన ప్రభుపాదుల వారి కాదు, వేరే వాళ్ళ గురువులు.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bhagavatam, original Bhagavatam. I don't know how they translated, what they don't know. We don't know. Yeah. వాళ్ళు ఎంత ప్రామినెంట్ అంటే యుఎస్ లో కూడా నాట్ ద టెంపుల్ ఉంటుంది, శ్రీనాథ్జీ టెంపుల్ ఉంటుంది అక్కడ ఫిలడెల్ఫియాలో పెద్ద టెంపుల్ ఉంటుంది. సో యుఎస్ లో కూడా బాగానే ప్రెజెన్స్ ఉంది వాళ్ళది.
ఓకే ప్రభుజీ, థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్ ప్రభుజీ.
ప్రభుపాదుల దగ్గర ఇస్కాన్ వల్ల మనకి అందరికి కూడా కృష్ణుడు తెలిసాడు ప్రభు నిజంగా. లేకపోతే పాపం వాళ్ళగా అంత తెలియదు కదా మిగతా 4 సాంప్రదాయాలు కూడా. ఉందనుకోండి శ్రీ సాంప్రదాయం కొంత.
ఈ సాంప్రదాయం ద్వారా శ్రీ సాంప్రదాయం టెంపుల్కి వెళ్తేనే తెలుస్తుంది. శ్రీ సాంప్రదాయం
స్వామి వారు కొంచెం ఎప్పుడైతే ఫోకస్ లోకి వచ్చాడో అప్పుడు కొంచెం తెలిసింది ప్రభు.
అదైనా గుడికి వెళ్ళాల్సిందే, గుడికి వెళ్తేనే ఓహో ఇక్కడ గుడి ఉంది అని తెలుస్తుంది. ఇస్కాన్ ఏంటి, గుడే బయటకు వచ్చింది. కృష్ణుడు బయటకు వచ్చాడు, జగన్నాథ స్వామి రూపంలో కృష్ణుడు బయటకు వచ్చి దర్శనం ఇస్తున్నాడు. బుక్కుల రూపంలో భాగవతం భగవద్గీత బయటకు వచ్చేసాడు, కృష్ణుడు ఆ విధంగా దర్శనం ఇస్తున్నాడు. సో దాట్ ఈస్ ద గ్రేట్నెస్. ఈ సాంప్రదాయం అయితే మనం గుడిలోకి వెళ్ళాలి, గౌడీ సాంప్రదాయం అయితే గుడే బయటకు వస్తుంది.
సంకీర్తన రోడ్డు మీద మనం చేసేవి అందరికీ తెలిసిపోయింది బాగా. ఇస్కాన్ హరే కృష్ణ ఇస్కాన్ అనేది గుర్తుపట్టేస్తారు జనాలు.
Okay, so we'll end it here. So I don't want to start anything else. Okay, na? Hare Krishna. Thank you, Anantha. Congratulations. Keep calm. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Har Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Anantha Prabhu ki jai.